And now joining us for an all-out discussion on the UAAP is our guest basketball analyst for today, former Batang Gilas Head Coach and current assistant coach of TNT Tropang Giga, Coach Josh Reyes. Brother, good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Sports Desk.
Yes, good morning, Andre. I'm happy to be here again and talk basketball with you.
Oh, of course. We love to talk basketball with a great basketball mind, such as yourself. Maraming salamat, Coach Josh. A lot of things to cover this morning. Let's get to it right away. Let's work our way down the standings, Coach Josh. Starting with the defending champions, unanimously voted as the team to beat Ateneo Blue Eagles 3-0 this season. No surprise there. Two of those wins actually coming against teams that were mentioned by the coaches as among contenders and favorites. I'm talking about UP and FEU. Tapos kahapon, Coach, lopsided, tinambakan nila ang Adamson. And a lot of guys, the bench guys, babad. Like, of course, Chris Kuhn, Fortsky Padrigao, Gab Gomez. How good does Ateneo look to you, Coach Josh? 3 games into the season, 3-0. Are you surprised?
Of course, with their record, they're looking very good. They're looking like the real favorites, as everybody touted them to be. I just really like how they're running things there. They're very disciplined. They're the best half-court executing team in the UAP right now. They're very dangerous in converting from their defense. Once they get defensive stops or force their opponents to make mistakes, they really convert on offense right away. That's why, when you're against Ateneo, you've really got to be on your A game, or else, you might be staring at a double-digit deficit early.
You're right there. I like what you said. You cannot afford to make mistakes with a team like this that runs like a well-oiled machine like Ateneo. Ang kagandahan nga sa lineup, Coach Josh, nitong Ateneo, ang daming pwedeng bumuhat sa team na to. Lalim, napakalalim. Kahapon nga 14 men and scoring, 14 players played, tapos lahat nakascore at least 2 points. Let's bring in one of these players that can score and can give you buckets. Their top scorer during their game against FEU, all in one quarter, 17 points, Tyler Teo. Tyler, good morning and welcome to the show. Maraming salamat. Finally, we get to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Thanks, Tyler. Well, Coach Tab Baldwin said after your game yesterday that you don't think of your team as starters and bench. You just think that everybody has a job to do. Tell us more about this kind of mentality and ano yung constant reminder sa inyo ni Coach Tab to make sure everybody is on the same page, whoever he puts in the game, and everyone does their job well, from start to finish, first quarter to fourth quarter.
Well, basically what Coach Tab preaches is just for everyone to do their job. You said it. I mean, he doesn't care who starts, who finishes the games, because he has full trust in each and every person on the roster. So whenever you have the opportunity to play minutes for the team, then you got to deliver. Simple as that.
Coach Josh, you have a question for Tyler Teo?
Okay, Tyler, my question to you, and I'm not, let's not have this disciplined team answer the way, Coach Tab said,
answer.
everybody has their roles and jobs to do.
Yeah.
My question to you, as a player, as a baller, you have great players with you. Dave Ildefonso playing really well. SJ Belangel has proven himself in the clutch. My question is, game on the line, who takes the shot?
Good question.
I mean, I know you don't want me to give a safe answer, but it comes down to Coach Tab's decision. It's going to be his decision at the end of the day, and it's a safe
let
answer,
me rephrase
but it's also
it.
the truth.
Coach Tab will draw a play, and someone's going to be open. Who do you want that guy to be?
Tyler, just say me.
Well, as a player, I'm ready to take that last shot whenever Coach Tab calls me to take it. But if it's not me, then I'm fine with it as long as it's beneficial for the team.
Well, SJ can take it, as evident to that game-winning shot in Gilas late last year. Dave can also take it. There are a lot of guys. Tyler can take it. But good question from Coach Josh. Better answer from Tyler Teo. Good offense, better defense. Tyler, your game tomorrow is against your arch rivals, the De La Salle Green Archers. Of course, a lot of people will be watching. First time nating makakakita ng Ateneo La Salle game in 2 years. And like the Blue Eagles, La Salle is also unscathed here, undefeated, 3-0, entering this much anticipated, much awaited game. How excited are you personally for this, and what will be your biggest concern against La Salle, who's also rolling early in the season?
We're all super excited, of course. I mean, you mentioned that it's been 2 years since we last played each other, so definitely going to be a lot of excitement there. Probably going to be some nerves as well because, I mean, it's Ateneo La Salle, so the stakes are high and everyone wants to win. So it's just going to boil down to who executes their system better, who plays harder, who plays smarter, and at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for.
Josh, I like how this kid answers, no? Very precise, very safe, very... No, but he...
like the true leader that he is.
Yes. Coach, La Salle over UE, NU, and FEU, close calls in their first 2 games. But against FEU, dun na sila nakalayo down the stretch. What is your assessment so far of the De La Salle Green Archers? What have been their strengths? And if you see anything that they should adjust moving forward?
Well, you mean, Andre, aside from Coach Derek Pumarin giving you a run for your money on fashion?
Yes, aside from that.
Okay, okay. We're not talking about that.
No.
But, well, watching La Salle, they're really fun to watch right now. They're giving me an impression that they are a team in great shape, in great condition, because they really try to press and be aggressive the whole game. In fact, having said that, they're actually looking like the La Salle of old, the La Salle of legend. These La Salle teams, who won all these championships with their vaunted press. That everyone was scared of their pressure defense, and I guess that's what Apumaren does. And it's giving me flashbacks of the old glory days, legendary La Salle teams.
You know what? I'm sure Tyler's taking down notes right now from Coach Josh Reyes.
Yeah, for sure.
He can take. Tyler, I don't want to keep, you're busy kid. You still have school and you have a big game tomorrow. You know what? Sayang lang, Tyler, Coach Josh. Wala pang crowd bukas, diba? Because of the situation, the pandemic. But the UAAP is set to welcome back fans starting next week. How do you feel about this, welcoming back fans in the stands?
It's great news. I mean, that's basically, it's 50% of what the UAAP is. It's about the fans. It's about the atmosphere, representing your school in front of, the students, the alumni. That's half the fun of playing in the UAAP, and I'm super excited for that.
Well, we're excited for you and for the Ateneo Blue Eagles this season. Congratulations again. Stellar performance last Tuesday and great so far for Ateneo. Thank you, Tyler, for joining us. We'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right,
Best of luck
Tyler,
tomorrow.
take it easy.
One big fight, Tyler Teo. We just had Tyler Teo of the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Coach Josh, stay where you are. Don't go anywhere. We still have a lot to talk about. Our discussion on the UAAP Men's Basketball Tournament will continue after a really quick break. But have with us this Friday, basketball analyst Coach Josh Reyes. And Coach Josh is giving us his assessment of the different teams in the UAAP Men's Basketball Tournament so far after each played 3 games over the past week. First week in for college basketball is back UAAP. Coach Josh, now let's move on to the UP Fighting Maroons, number 3 in the standing so far, 2 wins and 1 loss, 2 straight victories over UST and NU. That's after losing their opening match to Ateneo. Well, so far UP is living up to the high expectations of a lot of people. Are they living up to your expectations?
Well, UP, I believe, is in a tough spot. Like you said, the expectations are high. But it's still a relatively new team. It's tough for them. It's tough for us, for anybody to see what they're really capable of.
Yeah.
Let's give them their due. Let's give them their time to figure things out. Because really, right now, it's looking like, and it's understandable. It's looking like their issue is chemistry.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
With their lineup, they have a lot of talent, but do they have good balance? With what they have? When I say balance, who are the role players? Who are the scorers? Who are the defenders? And I think these things they need to figure out as they go on the tournament. You have to understand, Andre, college basketball didn't have all these preliminary tournaments, Father Martins,
That's right.
mini
Yes.
games, what have you, tune-ups.
Yeah.
So they really didn't have the luxury to have those tournaments to figure things out. So they're having to figure things out on the fly. And basically, that's it for me on UP. They're very talented, but they have to really figure out each and everyone's roles because not everybody can be go-to guys. What UP needs is what I like to call the go-through guys. You know, the people whose jobs are important so that the go-to guy can do their jobs effectively. And that's the issue. I mean, on the outside looking in, I really think that they look quite good when Spencer comes in, provides a lot of toughness and defense. And who else? Their import Diof is also used to having the ball before with his previous team. So a lot of adjustments all around. Richie Rivero is scoring well. Tamayo is looking like a go-to guy. You see Lucero, his talent in the open court. But how did they put it all together without stepping on each other's toes?
I think you hit it right there. Tama ka eh. Kasi in chemistry, we have guys coming from the juniors, that division from NU, that program of Coach Gold. Then you have the holdovers in the Richie. Then you have a transferee like CJ Cancino. Tapos may mga Zave Lucero ka pa.
Exactly.
Tama ka dun. Well,
great talent there. And even the players off the bench, even the young players off the bench are defined by their scoring. So how can they contribute without scoring?
You're right. Well, expectations were also high, Coach Josh, for the FEU Tamaraws, a team that you know so well, being an assistant coach back then. But in 3 games so far, FEU, they've lost 2. After nilang manalo against UST on opening day, natalo sila sa Ateneo, and then sa La Salle. What's going on with FEU that's also considered as a Final Four contender this season?
I don't think anything is wrong with FEU. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like I said, it's only the beginning, and with a compressed schedule, things are coming at them really quick, and them having to adjust and figure things out quickly. FU just ran into 2 juggernauts, So to the 2 unbeaten teams, so really it's tough to judge them based on those. But I like the team's makeup. They're really good in disrupting teams with their defense. They have great guards, very talented guards. RJ, LJ, Alforque, they're talented and unselfish. And they are really good defenders. So this team is really promising. If there's maybe one thing I can say is their big guys need to be consistent, really need to step to the game of their guards so that they can be on that level of the top 3 teams. But again, early days, let's give them time to figure things out, and I'm pretty confident that they will. Yeah.
And of course, having a guard-heavy lineup like that, like nabanggit mo na, LJ, RJ, Alforque, and then you have, a guard, a PBA legend in Olsen Racela coaching. Let's see how FEU will fare throughout the season. It will be exciting. Now, from one Racela-led team, let's go to another. Let's talk about the Adamson Soaring Falcons. And you know Coach Nash Racela very well, having worked with him sa FEU before. And you've seen him lead a team to a UAAP title. So far with Adamson, 1 win, 2 losses, including that big blowout game against Ateneo yesterday. How would you assess, Coach Josh, the performance of the Soaring Falcons so far?
So I believe the way to assess Adamson is not by their win-loss record. It's really how the growth and maturity of Coach Nash's players on the floor looks like, especially to the staff. And I believe that is the goal of the team for this season or for this year. Matter of fact, is for them to build that experience and exposure so that in the future they can compete with the top dogs in the UAAP. But they've shown flashes of brilliance in the first game. Their zone where it was very effective. Against UE, when they won, they made their shots. So I guess if as a coach, that's the one thing I can criticize is, can they win even if their threes don't fall? And right now, that's really very questionable.
Adjustments moving forward for Adamson, especially considering they will face big guns like UP, La Salle, and of course FEU in that much-awaited Racela versus Racela coaching showdown.
So like I said earlier, with FEU, at least in these first 3 games, they showed really good defense and disruption on their D. Adamson, being a young squad, needs to be able to handle that and have composure when they're being disrupted. and make good decisions a lot of times. And I believe Nash said it against Ateneo. The lead of Ateneo came from their mistakes, not really from Ateneo beating them down in execution, but really Adamson making mistakes on their offensive end, and then Ateneo converting it into points on their side. So that's the challenge for Adamson now. They have talented guards. Lastimosa is really impressing me right now. He needs to improve his decision making if he wants to really be that main guy for that squad. Hanapi, really young guy. He plays like Jericho Cruz to me. And, there are promising things for Adamson. They just really need the time and space to build it.
Well, Coach Josh, before we continue our discussion, I'm sure narinig mo ko, I put my analyst in the hot seat here and I will put you to the test. Huwag ka magagalit, ha? It's time to find out the answer to our quiz question of the day. And the question I asked earlier was, Coach Josh Reyes graduated from Ateneo in 2005. Which team won the UAAP men's basketball title that year? Magkabatch ba tayo?
I think we have to check the facts on that, Andre.
Do you remember who the champion team was back then in 2005, Coach?
Magka-batch tayo, Dre, pero hindi tayo nag-graduate ng sabay. Hindi tayo ganito. But I believe 2005, I know this. I think I know this. I should know this because around that time I was playing in the PBL.
Yes. Dapat alam mo
and my teammate for Viva. And my teammates were Denok Miranda and Arwin Santos. So I believe FEU won that and Arwin was the MVP.
Galing. Naalala mo. Tama. Yes, sir. Tama.
Arwin was my teammate during that time in the PBL.
Oh, wow. Really?
So I know it very well.
Okay. Oh, Dom.
That's why sinasabi ko sa'yo, hindi tayo sabay nag-graduate.
Denominate ni Arwin yun. FEU is the correct answer. They swept the De La Salle Green Archers. Of course, on time na yun, sino Mac Cardona, Joseph Yo. That was in season 68. Former King Tamaraw, of course, Arwin, the Spider-Man, Santos won both the season and the finals MVP honors. Grabe. Kala ko kabatch na natin sina Kiefer. Hindi, joke lang. Si LA, sina Arwin pala kabatch natin. Okay, Coach, pag-usapan naman natin ngayon. Let's head on down to the NU Bulldogs. They won against Adamson in a close fight on opening day. Then they lost to La Salle and UP, but they did somehow give these two juggernaut teams a run for their money. What can you say about how the NU Bulldogs have been playing so far, playing under Coach Jeff Napa?
Yes, Jeff, also a former teammate of mine, he's been really doing good things over there. He's had his players really defending, hard-nosed, really competing every possession. I like his offense right there. I believe that it's just better consistency with his players so that he can compete till the end, because with their losses it all really points to their offensive execution in the end game. I believe if they can improve that, then they'll be on better footing moving forward. But of course you have Clemente there. Hoson is struggling a little bit, in my opinion. Yeah. But the guy who makes me watch NU games right now and impressing me is this kid, Figueroa. I believe he was the MVP of the UAAP Juniors. Wide body, 6'4", wide body for a rookie, plays all around. And I really like watching this kid. I think he has a really bright future ahead.
Well, 2 teams to go, Coach Josh. Before we end the show, let's talk about another 1 and 2 team, the UST Tigers. We know they're a rebuilding squad, especially after they lost most of their key players. And, of course, head coach Ateneo heading into this season. But so far, gallant stand here for UST, even winning against UE last night. They even had flashes of brilliance in that emotional rematch against UP earlier this week. Let's talk about the Growling Tigers. What do you think of them so far?
Yeah, very same of these young teams at the bottom of the standings. They didn't have the luxury of figuring things out with preliminary tournaments, and really these teams needed those tournaments, and they're having to really figure things out on the fly. They need to really improve their composure. On offense, the ball tends to stick to one player for too much of a time. So I believe UST and their coaching staff will watch film, figure it out, and tell the players. But like you said, you know, in that fourth quarter, especially of UE, they showed flashes of brilliance because once Fontanilla was able to find his footing, make great decisions, create for his teammates, then they look really well there. And of course, because around that is Concepcion's hot shooting. I really want to see Concepcion up close because he's really shooting the lights out, really looking like a legit pure shooter for a four-man. I just really want to see how tall he is, you know, how he looks like compared to the other big men out there, because this kid is really promising and I'm excited for him.
He is the leading scorer so far in 3 games in the UAAP, 17 points per game. Finally, let's go to the UE Red Warriors, the only team that has yet to score a win this season. We know this team has been struggling for years. What's going on with UE? How do they break out of this early slump and get into the win column, Coach Josh?
Yeah, like you said, it's almost like they've been on rebuild since forever. But let's give it to them. Let's give them the chance. Let's give Coach Jackson Chago a chance to improve and turn things around. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to be a slow process. But as long as you see improvements from the young players every game, then that should be wins for UE. But UE, they actually played well against LaSalle.
Yeah.
They're really good. They're hard to stop when they get into transition. Their guards can score. LaSalle tried to press them, but UE broke the press easily with their guards. You've got Katakutan, Paranada, great guards, great ball screen players. However, they really need to focus on discipline. On defense, I see too much of their players getting blown by one-on-one. They help. They tend to help from the strong side and open up these strong side shooters. So, these things, I believe they'll be able to address and adjust as they move forward.
Well, Coach Josh, as always, on point with your takes. A brilliant basketball mind. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us this Friday morning, and we hope to have you again for the rest of the season. Coach Josh, we'll speak to you soon. Stay safe. Happy weekend, and hello to your cute baby daughter, Kalisa. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre.
Thank you. We'll see you. Basketball analyst, Coach Josh Reyes.